Hello, friends. Turn our do not disturb on too. Welcome to the Rosie Hour. We're waiting for our wonderful guest to come on today. And she's here. Hello, hello. We are about to go live with our amazing guest. Hey, Lynette, how are you?
I am good. How are you?
Good. Oh my gosh, I love your glasses and your map in the background.
Oh, thank you. The glasses are Warby Parker. They're actually new. And this map is a scratch-off map.
Ooh.
It's from Wondery. So you scratch off all the places that you've been. I just didn't start scratching yet.
Well, you gotta start.
I do. I just went to Virginia this weekend. So I need to scratch that off, even though I've been there.
Okay, so how many places have you been on that map?
Quite a few. I, don't laugh, was a competition baton twirler. So think less marching band, more dance team gymnastics with a baton in your hand. So whenever we went somewhere different for nationals, we would make a trip out of it.
Ooh, I know all about it.
That kind of helped check off some of those places. Otherwise, when we were kids, our vacations were mostly, I'm in New York City, so up and down the coast because we used to drive.
Wow, no, I know all about the baton twirling. Funny enough, one of my mentors, she was a baton twirler for Grambling University. So you could get a scholarship apparently for twirling a baton.
You can. So, you absolutely can.
So I am excited to talk to you, Lynette. We have been back and forth, like communicating. So this is so exciting to have you here tonight. I'm just
I'm very excited.
Happy. Yay! Okay, so one, I hope you have a beverage with you tonight.
Oh, I absolutely do.
Yay! Oh, and it's rosé. So
it is rosé. Cheers.
Oh, okay. Cheers. You got to tell us what you're drinking after you take a sip.
I'm drinking Summer in a Bottle. It is one of my favorites. I like the wine. I really love the bottle, but I am a fan. I don't like things that are too sweet. And it kind of just, the flavor of it really worked for me. So I kind of just stick with what I like. I have my Long Island shirt on too. So I'm just a regular
Long Island kind of gal. I love it.
I like to match my wine to my shirt.
No, I mean, that's so important. I like to as well, as you kind of see. So we have that in common. I'm here for it. So cheers to you and all you do in Long Island with the summer rosé wine. I'm here for this. I love the color of it. Okay, Lynette, you have an amazing brand. I love the name of it, Mint and Honey. I am a fan. I love the aesthetics. I love the color. But I know people want to know more about who Lynette is, besides twirling a baton and traveling states. Who are you? What do you do? And how did you come up with Mint and Honey?
Yes, so I'm Lynette. I am the founder of Mint and Honey Co., which is a boutique PR and digital marketing firm. And I also am the founder of Hellgate Pilates, which is a little Pilates series that I do here in Astoria and up in the Catskills. So Mint and Honey Co. My business is about 6 years old now, and it originally started out as Lynette Nicole PR. Very basic, very simple. It was one of those things where I was transitioning out of a job, and I was like, well, if there's a time to do this, it's now. Take the opportunity. So I was like, all right, great name. Let's get this done. Got it all done. And then about 2 years ago, I want to say, I was like, I kind of want to change. I want to remove my name off of it. But also, as my company grew, as I got further in my career, I learned more skills. So I was like, I don't offer solely PR anymore. So I don't want it to read like that and have people be like, oh, well, that's all she does. That's all that they do. So I started playing around. I wrote a lot of words down. It took a while to get to where I wanted to go. But ultimately, I wanted something that said like fresh and new, and also that conveyed that our results stick and have staying power. So ultimately, it means that we produce fresh, new types of campaigns that have results that have staying power and stick throughout the duration of your brand.
Oh, I love that.
Thank
And
you.
okay, like a lot of words. You said you wrote a lot of words, but I feel like that's what PR is. It's like, how do you find the best words to describe something? And a lot of people do not have that ability, right? Like, I think we see that, and especially now, like, social media is here and everyone's trying to be a brand or has a brand, but they don't know how to articulate it. And so there are a whole bunch of words, but like the words do not do a good job of actually putting out there what it is someone's trying to do. But like you're able to craft and like put out there in a way for people to understand concisely, this is what it is, this is how it should be, and like people can comprehend what someone is trying to execute and doing.
Exactly. I think it also helps when you have an outside perspective. So I didn't solely pick that name on my own. I ran it by everyone. I ran it by people who are in the communications industry, and I ran it by people who were not, to just kind of get a feel. A lot of people want to know what it is. They're like, what does that even mean? What is Mint and Honey Co? And I'm like, but I like that aspect because it starts the conversation.
Oh yeah, because I was like, yes, tell me more.
Exactly. That's what I wanted to do. I wanted you to chat with me, learn more, be intrigued by it.
Yeah, and like I'm looking at you on your Instagram even right now, and for those of you who are following along at home, it's Mint and Honey Co. On Instagram, and it is gorgeous. The aesthetics, the color palette that you chose, like it really tells a story, right? It shows you sort of like you're able to show someone who's looking for brand management and able to tell the story of like how a brand should look like, what your brand looks like. And I feel like that's so important because there's a lot of people who don't do a good job showing their brand. So it's like, how can you help me with mine? And you're just a little like all over the place. So how did you come with sort of like this look as well?
So that's actually also evolved. So when I first started, everything, I like pink. There's no denying that. So everything was very kind of bright. It was pink. It was very young. And at the time, I was young. 6 years ago, I was in a completely different decade of my life to begin with. And then I kind of wanted to change the feel of it. I wanted it a little bit more mature, a little bit more cohesive. There was a lot going on. The color palette is actually from Chip and Joanna Gaines.
Yay!
So that is kind of where I got that vibe from. And I think it still has some of that brightness. It has some pinks. But it also has a more professional, mature-ish feel to it. So I think I changed that before I changed the name, and I stuck with the color scheme.
Yeah,
and I get a lot of compliments on it. I do.
It's
and you know,
gorgeous.
Thank you.
And
so I mean,
good.
I do have some people. I have people who work with me who do help me with some stuff. But a lot of the website, when I redesigned it, a lot of that I did myself. I know that it's not great. I when we work on clients, I have someone who handles all of that for our clients. So it's a lot better than what I can personally do. But I get compliments on it all the time. And usually I just say thank you. But in my head, I'm like, really? I was like, I see a lot of websites that are absolutely pristine, but I do get compliments on it a lot. And I think it probably has something to do with, I keep my colors, like those are the colors. And I stick with them and I try and make sure they work well together.
No, and I'm going to say imposter syndrome is real. And you have an amazing website and you did a great job. I love it. It is so beautiful. It is so authentic, as someone else said.
Yep, I see that.
It's really like showing who you are, which I think as like a brand manager, a PR person, consultant, like I think that's what people want to see, right? Because how are you going to be able to communicate about a brand, about a person, and like, am I going to like you, right? And like, you are so likable. Like, just day one of meeting you, I was like, oh, can we be best friends? Like, and now I know you're
Yes,
a
we
baton
can.
twirler. Yeah, I'm like, please teach me. Like, I like used to use a broomstick and try to be a baton twirler, and like you are like a world-renowned twirler. Come on now, like.
Oh, I wouldn't say that.
But like, you know, like this is amazing, and like you have a great site, and it's just I just love the colors, the aesthetics, even the script. It's just like it shows personality.
That I did write. I did write all of the content on there.
It's so amazing. It's so beautiful. I mean, sips,
Thank you.
claps, applause, crowd goes wild to you on this. We're going to be drunk at the end of this. That's the goal. So we're going to do a lot of cheering you on today. So 6 years, you created this company. I'm not going to go to that question of where do you see yourself in 6 years? Because I feel like that's so cheesy. But like, we sometimes feel like, okay, I didn't know this is where I'll be, you know, from where I started. And like, God always has a different path than what we always created or thought about. What was the point where you were like, okay, I think I'm supposed to be doing this? Where was like the moment you were like, I'm grooving, I'm okay?
So yeah, I mean, when I was a teenager, I always knew I wanted to own something. What, I have not a single clue. I don't even know where that came from. My parents were not entrepreneurs, but that was where I was at. I'm gonna own something when I get older. I changed my major 4 times in college, stared directly at the communications advisor and told her I hated writing. And now I write all day, every day. When I first started, I was still young, and I mean, I still think I am young, but I was young and I had that flexibility, whereas, all right, let's just wing it. Let's just try it. And it started out with, you know what, the minute that I can't pay the bills, just go get a job. And then it kind of just kept going from there. I freelanced I started in August. So September I was freelancing for someone, and I think August I landed my first actual roster client, paying absolutely minimal to nothing. And then it just kind of evolved from there. There was a lot of stuff that I had to learn though. So I had no idea how to do new business. Most of what I learned from new business was sitting in an open office and listening to people who were older than me, who were in the industry longer than me, pitch. So I was also only hearing one side of the conversation. So I had a lot to learn, but then the more I went into it, the more clients I got, the more connections I made. I was like, all right, this is okay. I think we're going to be okay. And then I just never stopped. And I think I kind of still have the same mentality. Keep it going as long as you possibly can. Like, there may be a day, I mean, we see this every day now, coming out of the past 2 years, people are having to shut down shop, or they're pivoting, or they're doing something else. That day may come. and I can acknowledge that. But for right now, I think I'm in a good spot. But yeah, I think it came at around like the 2-year mark. Once I was like, all right, we did this for a year. It's like, all right, well, we're still doing this.
Well, and I think a lot of people have that like moment at the 2-year mark, because it's like, okay, the first year is like, okay, we're doing this. And then the second year is like, oh, we're doing this. But
yeah.
how are we
we're
still doing this? Yeah.
We're keeping going here.
What do I need to do? Because I need to be doing this at another level, because I need more money. I need to reinvest. I need more things. I need more clients. And so it's like, how do you go to the black? Because you're still in the red when you're in your second year. And it's like, you have to make that decision. But sometimes people make it prematurely, right? They're like, well, I tried. But
I'm a wait till the last minute. I'm like, we're just gonna wait till we're so far in the red where we can't get out. I'm like, that's how I make decisions. That's how I make decisions. I'm like, no, we're keeping this going as long as I can. I mean, COVID definitely hit us pretty hard. But we climbed out of it, and we're kind of back to where we were prior. So now it's kind of picking up the slack of these past 2 years and trying to make up for it.
So what did you do for COVID? Like, and how did it impact you? Because I think, I speak to a lot of the wine and spirits people, and they're like, honey, this was the best thing ever for us. But then
I probably contributed to that a lot.
I mean, hello. I definitely did. I know I did, because I drank.
Absolutely. I definitely did. And naturally, spent a whole summer drinking summer in a bottle. That's, definitely.
Summer in a bottle, and it's winter.
I helped. But no. So at the beginning of COVID, when it first hit, I was working actually with a lot of service-based clients in New York. So I lost all of those clients, just straight out lost. There was one that tried to hang on as long as they possibly could, but they couldn't get the pivot right to be able to bring in any income. And then what did I do? I struggled for a little bit. I helped out one of my old bosses with some stuff. There definitely was some struggle. And then in about June of 2020, it started to pick up a little bit more, because I pivoted who I was pitching new business to. So I started pitching, I specialize in health, wellness, fitness, medicine, and food.
Oh.
So I started going towards more of what people needed and wanted, and could be done not in an office, not a catering company. I had a catering company. Things of that nature, and businesses that were thriving, versus going after those service-based companies that couldn't stay afloat. And that's how I kind of picked it up. And then I had a client come back that I had worked with. They're actually a marshmallow company. They're based in Chicago. It's called Exo Marshmallow, and they used to have a rose gold rosé marshmallow.
I know them.
You know them?
Okay, so I don't know them personally, but I've been there. I'm from Chicago, so when I go home, I've been there, and I know they moved locations.
Yes, you have to go the next time you go. It's a huge location. It's so much bigger. It's like a more grown-up version. There's so much space, new menu items.
You just made my heart sing right now. Like, I don't know if you noticed, I just like.
Yes, that is a long-term client for me.
Yeah. Oh my God. So they're one of your clients.
They're one of my clients.
What? Look at you.
Yes, I have been working with them on and off since 2017. I opened the first cafe with them.
Wow. Lynette, look at you.
But yeah.
That's huge. That is like huge. I mean, like, you're huge, right? Like, you do a lot of great things.
Thank you.
Okay. You must be very modest too. Like, very humble. Like, you're like,
Oh yeah, if you ask me what I do, I will tell you. I was like, oh, I just do PR and digital marketing. And I'm like, oh, who do you work for? And I'm like, oh, I like have my own firm. Like I'm very much like, but my job is still my job because we're so small. There's only me, Anna, who handles my social media. I occasionally have another publicist with me and an intern. So I still do all of the daily functions. I'm still pitching, creating the plans, doing content calendars, writing blog posts for clients. So I still do all that. So technically, that is what I do.
And you're so good at it and amazing. And you have such a wide variety of amazing clients. And it seems like as well, you have clients that are doing really dope things that like you get behind as well. So like it seems like the lifestyle, the wellness, health and food, is it a reason like you have this target? Because like you could be doing fashion, you could be doing I don't know.
I mean,
mechanics.
I am not a fashion girl based on my outfit here.
You are fashion. You're icon walking.
Fashion has never been my thing. I have worked on like workout wear. I think at one point I was on the Splits 59 account. So I worked a little bit there. For me, now that I have my own company, I do like more mission driven stories behind everything. I want to have a reason. I like educating the public. Everything that I work on tends to filter into science. So there's something behind it that can help other people. And that's kind of where I gravitate towards. That makes me happy. I like working with a lot of doctors. And I also learn so much when I work with these types of clients. So I have another client I have right now is a hair loss client. I have never learned so much about hair loss and hair growth in the past 2 years. I work with the marshmallows. I love the marshmallows. Like they're just a mainstay on my roster right now. And I mean, they do really cool stuff too. And they do a lot. They actually, in their the new cafe especially, they do a lot of cause events or for like special days, special months. I work with a really awesome probiotic company. It's actually more on the psychobiotic for gut-brain axis health. And it's really great for those with autism, Parkinson's, anxiety, depression, insomnia. And they actually have a really awesome partnership coming up that I'm excited to announce in early October. And I work with this is actually a new client of mine. It's called Black, BLAQ. It's a beauty brand based in Australia. It's LGBTQIA plus founded. And it's based on their original concept, what is based on charcoal ingredients, because it's detoxifying. And now they just started adding in more detoxifying ingredients. So the newest product that we're working on is pumpkin fresh peppers. So it's pumpkin ingredient, it's eye masks.
I mean, that just is amazing. So like, are they sending you these products too to like test them? So like, you know what you're talking about as well? Because like for PR, I feel like, how can you write about something or post about it? You know, and I know you just answered it, but like, how do you also like go about the process? Like, you know,
yeah, I definitely make the clients send me products so I can try it. Cause it also helps like having this conversation. I want to be able to authentically tell you about it. Like, oh yeah, I use my client's product too. And this is how I use it. This is why I use it. So like the hair loss client, I do have thin hair, but before I just started pulling products out of the sample pack, I was like, let me take the quiz that we have to see what I should actually be taking. So when I have that conversation with somebody and they ask about it, I was like, I actually take XYZ because I also took the quiz. The marshmallows, every time I go there, I take marshmallows. My favorite non like actual marshmallow are the cookie dough cups. So I could talk to you all day about my favorite marshmallows. And then I just got all of the black stuff, so I'm still trying that, and I've tried the probiotics, and I like those as well.
Okay, so have you ever had a client, and this is going to probably be the moment where you're like,
that what?
This is going to be the moment where you're like, don't do this question, Renee, but I have to do it. It's an interview. So you're a PR, you know how to pivot. Have you ever had a product or a client where you're like, ooh, this isn't giving what you said it was supposed to give, and you had to like backpedal out of that?
Oh, yes, I have. It's not fun. You know, it's not fun. However, it depends on who the person on the other side of that is. So if I'm getting feedback from editors or influencers and they're telling me something unfavorable, and I bring that back to the client because, you know, I want to help with your R&D. I want you to be able to create the best product or whatever it is you're working on that you can. So I'm going to share that with you. It really depends on who's on the other end of that. Because you're either going to have someone say, no, they're lying. That's not true. We have the best. Or they're going to say, oh, okay, that's interesting. I've heard that feedback before. I'm going to like table it and put it on the side here with the other notes. So when we're ready to reformulate or do this, I know what's not working.
Okay. I like that response. And that's good because it's like they're receptive to feedback, which means they actually want to put a good product out there on the street. They actually are really about what they're trying to serve and mission driven. Have you ever had a moment where they were like, girl, we doing what we doing?
Oh, yeah, I have. And we didn't work with them anymore.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, it's our reputation as well. So
I think people forget that, you know, like you have a reputation to uphold as well.
Yeah, and I do think that occasionally clients or whoever's on the other side of it forgets, like, yes, we are representing you, but we're also representing us, which kind of makes, like, when I pitch, I'm pitching you. However, now your name is associated with my name.
Yeah. It's like Jeffrey Dahmer. I know I went dark there. But like, you know, when they interviewed the neighbor that, okay, I don't know if you're like old enough to remember this. This is really weird that I remember this. Because it like stood out to me like when I was a kid. But like they interviewed this neighbor that was like, yeah, I used to talk to him all the time. He was really great. And like this neighbor stood up for Jeffrey Dahmer. And then they were like, you're a Dahmer fan. And like he was like in the community ostracized because like he stood up for him. And then like the association of him, nobody liked him anymore. It's all about association. So it stood out to me. Sorry. Really dark, but
no worries. When I was in New Orleans, I went to the Museum of Death. So I got to read like all the letters.
Okay, see? We're meant to be friends. Okay. We're gonna go here. What is your favorite true crime series?
Ooh, that is a good question. That's a hard question.
I mean, there's so many. That's the sad part. There's so many.
There's like too many. I watched one recently. It was a very, very recent one about girls in the tri-state area by me in New York City because it was right after, so it had to be last year. They only filmed, I think, 3 or 4 episodes, but it was after Gabby Petito, and the woman who was covering the case had spoken to her dad, and he wanted to help, you know, help other people who were experiencing the same thing. So they did a deep dive on some of the missing women in the local area over here, and it's just, it's one of those, it can happen to anybody, but watching them, it's so wild. Yeah. And then just watching all the pieces come together.
It's really crazy, right? It's like, girl, you went down the street, you did that, and then it's like,
yeah.
Okay, then, so somebody wrote in the comments, murder mystery and wine event. Definitely see that as a PR moment that we need to have, Lynette.
I'm
we'll
down,
work it out.
Absolutely.
We can live stream it. And then Deadly Woman. Deadly Woman.
I've heard of that one.
Show. Yeah, I heard about that one too. I've been watching the like I Killed My Father or something like that on Netflix.
Ooh, I've seen the previews. I am watching Partner Track on Netflix, which is the complete opposite of murder mystery.
Yeah. Something a little different.
A little different.
Yeah, I mean, you know, so you gotta have balance.
Exactly.
Okay, we're gonna stay on this track because I feel like we need to get to know you a little bit more. I love this because, like, you know, as a consultant, you are so well-rounded, and you have to just know a lot of things about a lot of things. So what streaming services do you have?
So I have Netflix, and Hulu. I have HBO. I don't pay for most of these. Hulu, I think, is under my own name. That's why I'm so confused about what I do have. I pay for Showtime. I have Showtime too. But I think the ones I use most are Netflix and Hulu.
Okay. You don't use Peacock?
I don't use Peacock.
It's free, so look into that.
I did not know that.
Yes, it is super free.
Learn something new.
Yes, it is super free. And like whatever show comes on like today, it'll be on Peacock tomorrow for free. So like if it's on NBC, ABC, CBS, or something like that, watch it for free.
See, I have my mom's login for cable still, so I do have those individual apps, so I can watch things in real time.
In real time! Look at you! Okay, so you have to wait for the Grammys. I have to wait. Okay. Okay, the reason why I asked, because this is how we're going to figure out what shows you watch. Because this is very important because we're coming up to a new season of television watching. As, you know, fall is among us. Like the air is getting crisp, and we need to know from our resident PR consultant what shows you recommend for us this season. So with that said, what are some of the shows that you're excited about this fall season?
I have one show that I rewatch every fall.
Okay.
And that would be Gilmore Girls.
Okay, how many seasons are they on? Like, is it like season like 97?
So there's the full regular season, and then a few years ago they did A Year in the Life, and that has 4. I don't know how many regular seasons there were, because I believe that was on when I was in high school.
Yeah.
And it was off before I went to college, I believe. But that is my mainstay. I do have some cable shows that I still watch. So I watch A Million Little Things. I like that one.
Oh,
and then I somehow got suckered into Grey's. So I still watch it. I stopped watching it for a little bit, and then I made the mistake of rewatching it on Netflix. So it brought me up to date, and then I couldn't look away.
I mean, when you lock in with Grey's, it's like you want the trauma experience. It's like you're seeking it. It's like, well, I need to go through this highs and lows experience of life and dramatic moment as if my own life isn't enough.
I just can't look away.
Train wreck.
And I will not look away until it's over.
Yeah. Every episode is like, I know something horrible. I know something heart-wrenching, but I'm going to watch it.
I have to watch it.
I'm going to cry.
Yep.
But I'm going to watch it. Okay.
Pretty much.
Yeah. Okay. What's one show that you want people to stay away from?
To stay away from? Oh, that's a good question. I feel like there's some shows, honestly, if I want them to stay away from it, I probably forgot about it already because I didn't finish it.
Good answer. Okay. And then what is a snack that you recommend for the fall, the TV watching season with wine? Ooh. So whatever wine you're drinking, what's a good snack for people to eat?
I'm good. I drink my wine according to seasons because I'm weird like that.
You're just an adult. I love it.
So I transition into, the red wine, and you can't go wrong with dark chocolate, obviously. See, it's funny because I'm not the biggest sweets person. I can tell you a dessert that I do like. It's almost like a cookie dough. It's Greek yogurt with peanut butter, and then you throw some chocolate chips in there.
Ooh.
And it's like half healthy, but it's a dessert.
It's like a party in the front, professional in the back. I love that.
Exactly.
I love that. Okay. This sounds like a good fall that we're going to have with you. What is some good PR that people should do for social media this fall? Because, content, people are going to be trying to create content, whether they're watching TV, whether they're doing social, they're going on a pumpkin hayride and they want to take pictures of pumpkins that we've all seen. What is some good advice you have for people?
Halloween is, first of all, knowing who your audience is. Like if you're a brand, know who you're trying to reach and what they're going to resonate with. But Halloween's a great option. Taking fun pictures in that, like the apple picking and stuff, that's always fun. I know it's crazy cliche, but like you can't go wrong with it.
Right, it's timeless.
Recipes are great. This time of year, I'm always looking, especially with apples. I always want to know what people are doing with apples because I'm one of those people who, if I go apple picking, I can't just pick a few apples. I have to pick them all, and then I don't know what to do with them.
Okay, Pokemon, you gotta get them all.
So pretty much, I'm just like, what am I going to do with all of these apples? This was unnecessary. But so recipes are huge. I also like for like November, Thanksgiving, finding out like what are some different sides, what are some different things that people are making. That's always fun. Table settings, decor. Those are things you can't go wrong with. Though sometimes I get super jealous if someone has a really great like area, and I'm like, yeah, mine doesn't look like that at all.
Same here.
What else is content? You've got Breast Cancer Awareness Month in October. That's always a really big one. I would say for me, that one, coming from a PR marketing perspective, make sure you're tied to a cause if you're going to do that. Make sure it's like meaningful, not just another. And I think we've seen this with other holidays throughout the year where people just throw stuff up because it says it's a holiday. I mean, unless you have a solid tie to something, I think it's best to skip it, or you can acknowledge it in some capacity, but not a whole, like, let me just turn everything pink just because.
Yeah, don't throw up pink just because. Don't. This is natural. This is natural. Don't throw up pink. Just because.
We're still in September.
Yes, this is back in June, July. We throw up pink every day. So.
Yes.
No, don't just do it in October. Yes. So where do you see? We're gonna go there. We're gonna do it now. Where do you see yourself, like in your company, like in the next few years? Like, where do you want sort of like your company to go? How do you feel like you see yourself in this consulting PR world?
So I definitely see us growing. I am content with the services we currently offer. I think I would like to learn more within those to offer more within the buckets that we have versus expanding more. I think what's really great is throughout the years, I've made so many connections with other people who do things that complement what we do. So when it comes to like paid search, paid ads, we don't do that. But I have partners and, friends who have agencies who do that. So I can, be like, hey, let's work on this together. So I think I want to hone in even more on the skills that we do have. I think we're going to see a lot of different trends within PR and marketing that are going to change. We've already seen things change, especially with affiliates and whatnot. So I think kind of gravitating towards the things that are trending to make sure that our clients are being placed amongst everyone else. We work with a lot of startups and small businesses. So typically my goal is to get those smaller companies talked about while the bigger companies are being talked about. How can we get you in there? I think working on getting clients who are mission driven, making sure we're staying true to what we've been working on and what we want to work on. But I do see us growing a little bit. I've always said I wanted to stay boutique. I love being the point person for clients. I love talking to clients. I love running strategy. I love coming up with the ideas. So I want to stay small, and I know we'll still be small in the next few years, but I do think we'll have one or two more full-time people on, which will free me up for some more new business.
I see it all happening for you. I see it. I love it. I'm praying for you. But I know it's going to manifest because everything you ever wanted, I had this feeling that it's already happened for you. So why would this not happen?
I mean, I hope I agree. I agree with you, but I hope I hope it manifests that way.
Yeah, it's going to. It may take some time, but it's going to happen. It's just going to take a little time.
Cheers to that, and that's okay. That's one of the things. Every time I work with a junior, they're like, "But I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know how to do this." I'm like, "But you're gonna learn. Like, it's gonna take time. The same way that it takes time to get pressed. The same thing that I tell my clients. Like, this is not an overnight situation.
It's just like weight loss. If you lose weight overnight, it's going to come back.
It's gonna come back.
So if you do anything overnight, the drama will come back.
Exactly. It doesn't go away.
It doesn't go away. Okay, so personally, because I know we talked about professionally where you see yourself. And I feel like sometimes we as women, we're like, our professional is our personal. But like, do you have any personal goals? Like to travel somewhere, to go see something, or do a play, or maybe like get back into baton twirling? Like, do you have any future goals like that?
Yeah. So one thing about me is I have like things that are mainstays. So I have like PR and digital marketing. That is my job. I'm good at it. And that's what makes me money. That is my day job. That is what I do every day. I'm a runner. So I run marathons and half marathons. And that's something I'm relatively good at. And I play the violin.
No way.
I do.
Okay. We were definitely friends in elementary school. I played the violin and viola when I was.
And the viola.
We were meant to be friends. Okay. Well, continue your story. Sorry.
Oh, I mean, so those are things that are kind of like those mainstays that are like, okay, those are the things I always do. I am one of those people who thrives on being busy and being everywhere at once. And like, I made sure all of my phones and all my technology is on Do Not Disturb right now because nothing stops going off ever. So I'm actually able to travel a lot. I do a lot of weekend stuff. I rent an apartment. I rent everything I have. So this is not to say that I am some sort of maven, but I rent an apartment in upstate New York as well. So I do go up there on the weekends and I snowboard. So I hike, I snowboard, I paddleboard. So I do have that getaway, but I also go away on weekends often. I took a 4-day weekend this past weekend, so I try and go away every other quarter. I'll take actual like weekday time off, just like reset so my clients are not getting the worst of me, and I can like get that creativity back. So I went down to Shenandoah. We did some camping. For my birthday, I went away for my birthday by myself this year, and I went to a spa upstate. So I do stuff like that. I have never been to Europe, so that is on my list. Italy is the first thing I want to do. So hoping for the next year or so, but we'll see how things are going because that's one of those trips that I want to take off for.
Yes, you should do it. Italy. And then when you get to Europe, what's going to happen is you're like, wait, it's $45 for me to fly to Germany? It's $110 to fly to France? You're going to be like,
I'm never coming home.
I'm never leaving.
I'm never leaving.
You're going to be like, I want a visa and lose your life for a whole week. And so then you're like, wait, I'm in a visa. What am I doing? So just make time for that.
Listen, I stopped going to clubs years ago. I can't handle staying up past 9:30, but I am absolutely willing.
Oh, yeah.
I am willing and able to do it once. I will go there once.
You're going to love it. And you're going to probably be like, what country am I from again? Where do I live? Yeah.
I will gladly, willing and able to do it once. Probably won't be able to handle it more than once.
Once is all you need.
Exactly.
That's all you need. Okay. When you are sort of like resting and you're like, you know what, today was one of those days and wasn't rough, wasn't the worst day. Could have been a little better. what's your go-to wine?
Oh, I like a Sauvignon Blanc.
Ooh.
I barely remember. I have learned where things are at the liquor stores that I go to. So I don't remember the brands, but I know where they are.
And your person at the liquor store knows you and knows your liquor.
Yes, they know that. Actually, I think the bodega guy knows me more for breakfast, but
oh wait, you are in New York, so I gotta ask the question.
I'm in New York.
What is your bodega order?
A sausage, egg, and cheese.
Okay, how do you get it? So like, I'm not a New Yorker. I'm clearly not. I find it very like, whoo, okay, this is stressful.
How we order? Yeah, sausage, egg, and cheese on a roll, salt, and pepper.
Okay, see,
that's it.
That's a lot for me. Like to go into a bodega and like, cause I'm like, ooh, can you clean the grill? Like, I don't want who's ever.
I don't want to see behind. No, I don't want to see behind the counter. I don't want to know.
I just have too many questions, too many issues. In Chicago, we don't have bodegas like
okay,
this.
I have learned that. So I go to Chicago often. So I run the Chicago Marathon a few times. I work with the Marshmallows. I have I had a networking series that I'm bringing back called Pilates NPR, which was an industry series. So I go to Chicago often, and my biggest complaint with Chicago is that I can never find breakfast. I have a big problem with breakfast in Chicago.
You can go to a Dunkin' Donuts. Like, we got all the Dunkin', honey.
I like the bodegas are like a hometown place.
No, baby, you go to a Dunkin' and like
I know.
That's where I got my sandwich in the morning.
That's the biggest complaint about Chicago is that I can never find breakfast.
Yeah. You can go to a restaurant. But a bodega. Oh no, honey. You cannot go to the corner and get you a breakfast in the neighborhood. No.
Yeah, I cannot.
Yeah, sorry. We are not.
I try every time though. I try every time and it never works, and I always get pissed off and I start walking around in circles.
Yeah, we're not a real we are a food city, but we don't do breakfast.
No, you don't do breakfast.
Now every other meal, honey, we got you. You can find Ethiopian, Mexican, Chinese cuisine infused. That is one type of food. Like that could be like the actual type of food you would crave and want.
I've never had a problem with dinner. No problems with dinner in Chicago.
Yeah, you can find anything you want. You want Vietnamese, South African, Nigerian, Indian spice food. We got that. We have exactly that. You want breakfast, honey? I don't know what to tell you.
Get my ass back to New York.
Go to the airport.
That's how you know it's time to go.
Okay, so I know we're almost at time, but I wanted to ask you just one more question.
Yes.
What is one of your goals before the end of this year? You know, we got 3 months left in this year, and a lot of people are like, this year flew by. They can't believe this year just kind of just took off. Like we were in January, February, March, April, May, June. Like it just went by, and people didn't make their summer vacations. They didn't do all these things. But we have 3 solid months left. What is one thing you want to accomplish before the end of this year?
I can give you 2 things. I can give you a work thing, which I want to, I do want to sign one of the bigger clients that I want. I do want that kind of segue into the next chapter going into Q1. So I would love to sign one of the biggest clients that I have in the past few years. And then I am running the Philly Half Marathon, so I would love to come close to the goal that I wanted. The problem is that the goal that I need to surpass is from about almost 10 years ago. So we're starting from a higher point. So if I can get close to that, that would be perfect.
We're gonna send manifestation, rose love.
Yeah, I don't know how much the rose will help, but But I will drink it.
It's going to be to you. I have a feeling you're going to accomplish both of those goals exceedingly and abundantly. You're going to make it happen. And Lynette, how can people who are watching this, not only tonight live, but, you know, in future days, as we're going to post this on, you know, Instagram, YouTube, and on the podcast platform, how can they connect with you and find you and learn more about you?
Sure. So on Instagram, I'm Mint and Honey Co. And I'm also Lynette_Nicole. And then you can email me at Lynette@mintandhoneyco.com. And what else do I have? That's about it. Or my website's mintandhoneyco.com.
Lynette, you are so amazing. I feel like we need to do Pilates PR and Rosé. I mean,
oh my God. So we have wine. So the Pilates and PR, so it's a networking event that I created because I wanted to get to know the editors I was working with more, but one, it's hard to get to know them at larger events, especially when I'm the one working and, you know, putting it on. And also, they still need to like get their workout in. They don't need to be going to massive events every week or every night. So what it is you'll come, we'll do a class so everyone gets their workout in. I teach it. And then afterwards, we have like cheese and meat and wine and get to know each other better.
Listen, you want to do one in DC? We got a rooftop. Let's make it happen.
Done.
So guys, you heard it here first. Pilates, PR, wine, cheese, meat, rosé, happening, coming to you soon. With the amazing Lynette with Mint and Honey Co. and the Rosé Hour podcast. Pew pew. Happening soon.
Love it. I am there.
Yes. Well, Lynette, thank you again so much for doing this. We truly appreciate your time, your amazingness, and your new friendship because we are now besties. So
we absolutely are.
Yay! It's official. I have a new best friend. I'm happy. Life is great.
Me too. Tonight was awesome. Thank you so much for having me.
No, thank you. Well, friends, we will see you next Thursday. Same time, same channel. Bye. Okay, this is me getting up and walking around to hit the end button.